Hello, everybody. So today our topic is divide by one-digit divisors. This is lesson 2.2 in the 5th grade Go Math textbook. We are on page 67 of the textbook. And our essential question that you should be able to answer by the end of the lesson is, how do you solve and check division problems? All right, so unlock the problem. Jenna's family is planning a trip to Oceanside, California. They will begin their trip in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and will travel 2,754 miles over 9 days. If the family travels an equal number of miles every day, how far will they travel each day? Okay, so here's the little word problem reminders. Underline the sentence that tells you what you're trying to find. Well, that's the question, right? How far will they travel each day? And then circle the numbers we need. Well, we need to know their total miles and how many days they're traveling. Okay, so we need 2,754 and 9. So we're going to divide that because they're going to be an equal amount in each of the 9 days. So remember, we can use an estimate to figure out where the first digit in the quotient is going to be. And so 27 is a multiple of 9. So 27 divided by 9 is a good basic math fact to try for an estimate. So 2,700 divided by 9. Well, 300. 9 times 3 is 27, followed by the 2 zeros. So the first digit is in the hundreds place. Okay, so my answer should be hundreds. Okay, not tens, hundreds. All right, so step 2, let's divide the hundreds. So we said I couldn't share 2 thousands into 9 groups. Right, I had 9 groups and I have 2 1,000 blocks or something like that. Well, I can't split 2 of those into 9 groups. So I'm going to trade those 2 1,000s for 20 hundreds plus the 700s we already have, so 27 hundreds. And 9 times 3 is 27 hundreds. I'm sorry, 9 times 300 is 2,700. Subtract, we get no hundreds left. Well, obviously I can't share 0 with 9, so that's reasonable for my quotient to be 3. So I'm going to move on to the tens. And I have 5 tens. Well, I can't share 5 tens with 9 groups. So I'm going to have to put 0 tens in all the 9 groups. 9 times 0 is 0. So 0 tens subtract from 5 tens is 5 tens. Okay, I'm going to trade those 5 tens for 50 ones and bring down the other 4 ones. So now we have 54 ones in 9 groups. We can do that. 9 times 6 is 54. Remember, as a 5th grade student, we should just know our basic math facts. Okay, if you're still struggling with that and it's taking you a long time, you need to spend time just memorizing those facts. Okay, sit down, memorize a set every night. Have somebody quiz you until you know them by heart. 9 times 6, 54. So 9 times 6, 54 ones. Subtract, I get 0 ones left. So we divided the hundreds, we got 300. We divided the tens, there weren't any tens to share into the 9 groups. And then we divided the ones, and we had 6 ones in every group. So since 306 is close to the estimate of 300, our answer is reasonable. So they'll travel 306 miles each day. And we usually don't go over the mathematical practice question, the math talk. They are good to go over. But explain how you know the quotient is 306 and not 36. Well, remember, the first digit is in the hundreds place. So the answer has to be 300 something, not 36. If it was 36, the first digit would be in the tens, which it's not. It's in the hundreds. So the answer has to be 300 something. All right. So division and multiplication are inverse operations. Inverse operations are opposite operations that undo each other. We can use multiplication to check our answer to a division problem. So to check your answer to a division problem, multiply the quotient by the divisor. If there's a remainder, add it to the product. The result should equal the dividend. So remember, the answer to the division problem is the quotient. R represents remainder, part that could not be shared. The number we're dividing by is the divisor. And the number that we're sharing is the dividend. Okay, so they divided this problem, 614 by 6, and came up with an answer of 102 with a remainder of 2. So if we multiply the quotient, 102, by the divisor 6, 6 times 2 is 12 ones. Regroup that as 1 10 and 2 ones. 6 times 0 tens is 0 tens, plus 1 regrouped 10 is 1 10. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 12. And now if I stopped right there, I'd look there and say, oh, I must have messed up. But there, remember, there's a remainder of 2, so I have to add the remainder. 2 plus 2 ones is 4. 1 plus 0 tens is 6. Plus 1 10. 110 plus 0 tens is 110. 600 plus 0 hundreds is 600. And then we notice that they match. Okay. Since the result of the check is equal to the dividend, the division is correct. So 614 divided by 6 is 102, remainder 2. Okay. So if you want to check the answer to your division problem, multiply. Multiply the quotient by the divisor and add any remainder. It should equal the dividend. All right, so now you can use what you know about checking division to find an unknown value. Well, how do you do that? Well, let's look at this. Find the unknown number by finding the value of n in the related equation. Remember, n simply means an unknown number. It can be any letter. It can be any symbol, really, to represent this unknown number. Okay, because the letter doesn't change the value of that unknown number. 7 is the divisor. They said the answer was 63. What was the dividend? Well, they're saying that if you share something into 7 groups, and you put 63 of those things in the 7 groups, that'll give you your dividend. Well, 7 times 63, right, will give us this unknown. So n is the dividend. We don't know it. 7 is the divisor. 63 is the quotient. So multiply the divisor and the quotient. So what is 63 times 7? All right, let's multiply with regrouping. 7 times 3 ones, 21 ones. I'm going to regroup that as 2 tens and 1 1. 7 times 6 tens is 42 tens, plus 2 regrouped tens is 44 tens. So we get 441. Could I check to see if I was right? Yeah, I could go back and divide 441 by 7, and I should get 63. Okay. All right, B. So here, the n is actually the remainder. We don't know what the remainder is. But remember, we do know that the quotient times the divisor plus any remainder has to equal 752, the dividend. So the dividend is 752. The divisor is 6. The quotient's 125 plus the n. So multiply the divisor and the quotient. So they're saying that 752 times 6 times 125 is 750. So 750 plus the remainder has to equal 752. So 2. 750 plus 2 is 752. All right, let's try some on the Sharon show. Divide, check your answer. All right, so I'm going to first estimate, and I'm going to say what factor or which multiple of 8 is close to 62 tens. Because I can't share 600s into 8 groups. So I know my answer has to start in the tens place. So I know that 8 times 8 is 64. That's pretty close to 62. So I'm going to go 64 tens, 640, divide by 8. 8 times what is 64? 8. So 8 tens is 80. So my answer should be close to 80. All right, so how many? 600 shared by 8 groups? I can't do that. So I'm going to take instead and trade that for 6 tens. I'm sorry, 60 tens, which would be 62 tens divided by 8, which would be 7. 8 would be too many. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 tens taken from 62 tens. I'm left with 6 tens. Can't share 6 tens with 8 groups, so let's trade those 6 tens for 61s. Bring down the 4 ones that we already have. 64 ones, divide by 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract, we get 0. So we should have an answer of 78. Now I think that that's reasonable because that's close to my estimate of 80. But let's multiply to check. 78, the quotient, times the divisor. 78 times 8. 8 times 8 ones, 64 ones. Regroup that as 6 tens and 4 ones. 8 times 7 tens, 56 tens, plus 6 more tens is 62. 624 checks. So the answer is 78. Okay, number 2. 3,220 divided by 4. Well, I'm not going to be able to share 3 thousands into 4 groups. So we'll look at that as 3,200s. So 3,200 divided by 4. Well, 4 times 8 would be 32. So 800. 4 times 800 is 3,200. So my answer should be about 800. So let's divide. 3,200s divided by 4. That is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract, we get 0 hundreds left. All right, so let's move on to the tens. 2 tens divided by 4 groups. We can't, right? So we have to show that by putting a 0 in the quotient. 4 times 0 is 0. Subtract, we get 2 tens. We're going to trade those 2 tens for 20 ones and bring down the ones in the dividend, which is 0. So 20 ones divided by 4. 4 times 5 is 20. So 4 times 5 ones is 20 ones. Subtract, we get 0 left. So we're saying our answer is 805. Well, that is close to my estimate, so that's reasonable. Now let's multiply 805 by 4. That should give us the dividend of 3,220. 4 times 5 ones, 20 ones. We're going to trade that or regroup that as 2 tens and 0 ones. 4 times 0 tens is 0 tens, plus the 2 regroup tens, 2. 4 times the 800, 3,200s. 3,220 matches. So the answer is 805. those two. The check matches the dividend. All right, number 4, 1,027 divided by 4. Well, I can't share 1,000 with 4 groups, so I'm going to think of this as 10 hundreds. But 10 is not a multiple of 4. So I could go 4, 8, 12. Let's change 1,027 to 1,200 and divide by 4. Because remember, we want a basic division fact for 4. And 12 divided by 4 is a basic math fact. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, so 3 hundredths. All right. 4 times what is 10 hundredths? 10 hundredths divided by 4. I can put 2 hundreds in every group. That would give me 8 hundredths. Well, 10 take away 8 is 2. So I'm left with 2 hundredths. I'm going to trade those for 20 tens and bring down the 2 tens I already have. 22 tens divided by 4. That means I can put 5 tens in each group. 4 times 5 tens is 20, with 2 tens left over. I can't share that with 4 groups, so I'm going to trade those 2 tens for 20 ones and bring down the 7 ones I already have. So 27 ones divided by 4. Well, 4 times 7 is 28. So that 7's too much, right? So we have to go 6. 4 times 6, 24. So we're left with 3. There are no other numbers to bring down. So we're saying our answer is 256, remainder 3. If we had changed our estimate to, again, another multiple of 4, which would be 800, we would get an answer of 200. So our estimates could be, we know our answer has to be between 200 and 300. So that is reasonable for an estimate. Now let's check. So remember that the quotient times the divisor plus any remainder has to equal the dividend if we have the right answer. So 256 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24 ones. We group that as 2 tens and 4 ones. 4 times 5 tens is 20, plus 2 regrouped tens is 22 tens. 4 times 200 is 800, plus 2 more is 10 hundreds, or 1,000. So we're at 1,024. Now add the remainder. Okay, the remainder is 3. So 1,024 plus 3 is 1,027. And so it does match. So you're happy about that answer. All right, number 4. 938 divided by 6. Well, what are the multiples of 6? 6, 12, 18. Well, 18 is way too big. It's much bigger than 9. So we're either going to use 6 or 12. I think I'm going to use 12. So we're going to go 1,200 divided by 6. Could you go 600 divided by 6? Yeah. Again, it's an estimate, okay? 1,200 is a little closer to 938 than 600 is. So I know my answer is going to be somewhere between 600 divided by 6 and 1,200 divided by 6. It has to be between those two. 1,200 divided by 6 is 200. If I change this to 600, 600 divided by 6 is 100. So I know my answer has to be between 100 and 200. So let's divide. All right, so my answer is going to be in the hundreds. So 900 divided by 6. I can split 900s into 6 groups by putting 100 in each group. That leaves me 900 take away 600, I'm left with 300s. I can't share those with 6 groups, so let's trade those 300s for 30 10s, plus the 3 10s we already have. So 33 10s divided by 6 is 5 10s. 6 times 5 10s is 30 10s. Subtract, we're left with 3 10s. Let's trade those 3 10s, since we can't split them into 6 groups, for 31s. Bring down the 8 ones we already have. So 38 divided by 6. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. So we have a remainder of 2. All right, well, is that the right answer? Well, we said our answer had to be between 100 and 200, so that's reasonable. Now let's check it to see. Quotient times divisor plus any remainder should equal the dividend. 6 times 6, 36. Regroup that as 3 10s and 6 1s. 6 times 5 10s is 30 10s plus 3 more is 33 10s. 6 times 100 is 600 plus 3 more is 936. My remainder is 2, so we get 938. So I'm certain I am correct. 156, remainder 2. All right, 762 divided by 4. Well, the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12. Well, 8 is the closest to 700, right? So let's change 762 to divide by 4. 800 divided by 4 is 200. All right, so I should expect an answer close to 200. All right, how many? I have 700s to share with 4 groups. I can put 100 in each group, and I have 300s left over. Let's trade those for 30 10s plus the 6 10s we already have. So 36 10s divided by 4 is 9 10s. Subtract, we get 0. So 0 10s. We can't trade those for 1s. It's just 0. So let's just bring down the 2 1s. And 2 1s cannot be shared with 4 groups. So I need to show that. Remember, my estimate was 200. So I know that my answer can't be 19. It has to be something in the hundreds. 4 times 0 is 0. Subtract, I get 2. So I'm saying our answer is 190, remainder 2. I can check that by multiplying the quotient by the divisor and then add any remainder. 4 times 9 is 36 10s. Regroup that as 300s and 6 10s. 4 times 100 is 4, plus 3 more is 760. There is a remainder of 2. So 762 does match the dividend. So our answer is 190, remainder 2. Okay, so it takes a little longer to check our answer, right? But I know I'm right. Okay. It's worth taking the time to check your answer. All right, 5,654 divided by 3. The multiples of 3 are 3, 6. So let's change 5 thousandths to 6 thousandths. 6,000 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we want to answer close to 2,000. All right. 5,000 with 3 groups. That's 1 in each group, leaving me 2,000, which can't be shared with 3 groups. So let's change those trade those for 20 hundreds plus the 600 we already have. So 2,600 divided by 3 is 8. 3 times 8 tenths is 24 tenths. Subtract, I get 2 10s. That also cannot be shared with 3 groups. So trade the 200s for 20 10s plus the 5 10s we already have. Again, 3 times 8 is 24. That would leave us 110. Let's trade that for 10 1s. Bring down the 4 1s we already have. 14 divided by 3 is 4. Subtract, we get 2. So 1,884, remainder 2. Okay, I'm going to do this check on a piece of paper. So 1,800 84 times 3. 3 times 4 ones, 12. Regroup as 1 10 and 2 ones. 3 times 8 tens, 24. Plus 1 more is 25 hundreds. I'm going to regroup that as 2 hundreds and 5 ones. 3 times 800 is 24 hundreds. Plus 2 more is 26 hundreds. We'll regroup that as 2 thousands and 6 tens. 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. Plus 2 more is 5,000. 5,652. Plus my remainder of 2. So I get 5,654, which matches the dividend. All right, number 7. 478 divided by 5. Well, we know we can't share 400s with 8 groups. So what are the multiples of 8? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. 48 is pretty close to 47, right? So let's do 480 divided by 8. So 8 times 6 is 48. So we should expect an answer close to 60. All right, we already said we can't share 400s with 8 groups. So let's trade those 400s for 40 tens plus the 7 tens. So let's think of this as 47 tens. 47 tens divided by 5. I'm sorry. 47 divided by 8 is 5 tens. 8 times 5 tens is 40. Subtract, we get 7 tens. We can't share 7 tens with 8 groups. Trade that for 70 ones plus the 5 ones we already have. So 75 ones divided by 8. Well, that's 9. 8 times 9, 72. Subtract, we're left with 3. 3 ones. We can't share 3 ones with 8 groups. There are no other numbers to bring down. So we're left with a remainder of 3. Let's check. 59 is my quotient. My divisor was 8. And I have a remainder of 3. So 8 times 9 ones is 72 ones. Regroup that as 7 tens and 2 ones. 8 times 5 is 40 tens, plus 7 more is 472 tens. We did say there was a remainder, and the remainder is 3. So we need to add the 3 to our product. 3 plus 2 is 5. 7 plus nothing is 5. And 400s plus nothing is 400s. 475. And that matches our dividend. So 59, remainder 3 is the correct answer. All right, now 8 through 15, we're going to have to solve on another piece of paper because there's clearly not enough room to solve this. So copy and solve, divide. Number 8. $671 divided by 4. Well, what are the multiples of 4? 4, 8. 800 is closer to 671 than 400 is. So I'm going to change 671 to 800 as my estimate. So 800 divided by 4. That's 2. So 200. All right, so I should expect an answer about 200. 600 into 4 groups. I can put 100 in every group. 6 take away 400 leaves me 200. I'm going to trade those 200s for 20 tens and add the 7 tens I already have. So 27 tens divided by 4 is 6 tens. 4 times 6 tens, 24. Subtract, we're left with 3 tens. I'm going to trade those 3 tens for 30 ones. Bring down the other one I already have, so 31. 31 ones divided by 4, 7. 4 times 7 is 28 ones with a remainder of 3. So 167 remainder 3, that is close to my estimate. So let's check. 167, the quotient, 167, times the divisor 4, plus 3 should give me 671. 4 times 7, 28. Trade that for 2 10s and 8 1s. 4 times 6, 24. Plus 2 regrouped 10s, 26 10s. I'm going to rewrite that as 2 hundreds and 6 10s. 4 times 100 is 400, plus the 2 regrouped hundreds, 600. So we're at 668, plus the remainder of 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. 6 plus 110 is 7. 600 plus nothing is 600. 671 matches 671. So number 8 is 167, remainder 3. Number 9. 2023 divide by 9. All right, multiples of 9. 9, 18, 27. 18 is closer to 20, right? So let's change 2023 to 1,800 and divide by 9. 18 divided by 9 is 200s. So, all right, so we expect an answer close to 200. I can't share 2,000s with 9 groups, so I'm going to trade those for 20 hundreds. And 9 times 2 hundreds is 1800s, which leaves me 200s. I'm going to trade those for 20 10s. Bring down my 2 10s that I already have. So 22 10s divided by 9 is 2 again. 9 times 18. 9 times 2 is 18. Subtract. We're left with 4 10s. I'm going to trade those 4 10s for 41s. 43 ones divided by 9. 9 times 5 is 45. That's too big, right? So let's try 4. 9 times 4, 36. So that leaves me 7. So I'm saying my answer is 224, remainder 7. That is close to my estimate. So it's a reasonable answer. Let's see if it's the correct one. 224, which is the quotient, times 9, plus the 7 should give me 2023. All right, 9 times 4 ones, 36 ones. Regroup that as 3 10s and 6 ones. 9 times 2 10s is 18 10s, plus 3 more is 21 10s. 9 times 200 is 1800, plus 2 more is 2016. We do have a remainder of 7. So let's add the 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 1 is 2 10s, 0 hundreds, 2000s. 2023 matches 2023. So our check matches our dividend. Our answer is 224, remainder 7. Okay, number 10. All right, 4,685 divided by 3. Again, the multiples of 3 are 3, 6. So which one is closest to 4? 3 or 6? 3 is, right? So let's change 4,685 to 3,000 divided by 3. That's just our estimate, okay? I could have used 6,000, okay? I just want a division fact. So I could have said 6,000 divided by 3, or I can go 3,000 divided by 3. Why did I use 3,000? Because 3,000 is closer to 4,685. Right, so I know that that's going to be 1,000. All right, so that's what we expect our answer to be, somewhere about 1,000. So our first number will be in the thousands place. So first number in our quotient will be in the thousands. Okay, so 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. Subtract, I'm left with 1,000. Let's trade that for 10 hundreds plus 6 hundreds. 16 hundreds, divide by 3. 3 times 5 hundreds, 15 hundreds. Leaves us 100. Trade that for 10 tens plus the 8 tens we already have. 18 tens divided by 6 is 18 tens divided by 3 is 6 tens. 3 times 6 tens is 18. 18 take away 18 is 0. So bring down the 5 ones. And 5 ones into 3 groups is 1. 3 times 1 is 3 ones with a remainder of 2. So we're saying our answer is 1,561, remainder 2. So let's see if that's right. Take the quotient and multiply by the divisor. Three times 1, 3. 3 times 6 tens, 18 tens. 3 times 500, 1,500. Plus 1 more is 1,600. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. 4,683 plus the remainder of 2. Which is 4,685. That does match the dividend. So the right answer is 1,561, remainder 2 for number 10. Number 11. Number 11, 948 divided by 8. Okay, so what are the math facts for 8 that would be close to 900? Well, 800 is pretty close. 1,600, that's not as close as 800. I'm just going to change 948 to 800 for my estimate. 800 divided by 8. Well, that's 100. So we should expect an answer close to 100. So that also gives me a clue that my first digit has to be in the hundreds place. So 8 times 1 is 800. Leaves me 100. I'm going to trade that for 10 tens. Bring down the other 4 tens. 14 tens divided by 8 is just 1. 14 divided by 8 is 6. Trade those 6 tens for 61s. Plus the 8 ones we need to bring down. So 68 ones divided by 8. I can get close by putting 8 ones into each group. 8 times 8 is 64 ones with a remainder of 4. Check your answer. 118 times 8. And then add the 4. That's the remainder. 8 times 8, 64. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 6 more is 14. 8 times 100 is 8. Plus the regrouped 100, 944. Plus the remainder of 4. 4 and 4 is 8. 4 and 0 is 4. 9 and 0 is 9. 948. That matches the dividend. So 118, remainder 4 is our answer for number 11. Number 12. Okay, so you see number 12 is written differently than what we've been doing, but it's the same thing, okay? The number you say first is the dividend. So this would be inside. So 1,326 divided by 4. Okay? 1,326 divided by 4. 4, 8, 12. Well, 1,200 is pretty close to 1,300. So I'm going to estimate by putting 1,200 divide by 4. My answer should be close to 300. So my first number is going to be in the hundreds place. So I'm not going to share 1,000s. I'm going to think of that as 13 hundreds. 13 hundreds divided by 4 is 3. 4 times 300 is 1,200 with a remainder of 1. Or 1's left over from there. So I have 100 that I'll think of as 10 tens plus the 2 tens we already have. 4 times 3 is 12. So I have no 10s left over. So we have 6 ones left to divide. 6 ones divided with 4 groups is 1 with a remainder of 2. So 331 times 4 plus the remainder should match the dividend. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12 tens. Regroup that as 110 and 2 ones. I'm sorry, 100 and 2 tens. 4 times 300 is 1,200, plus 1 more is 1,324, plus 2. 1,326 matches the dividend. So my answer is right. 331, remainder 2. All right, number 13. $5,868 divided by 6. Okay. Well, the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, so on, right? Well, 6 is closest to 5, so let's change this to 6,000 for my estimate. 6,000 divided by 6, 1,000. All right, so now I can't share 5,000s with 6 groups. So I need to think of this as 5,800s. 5,800s divided by 6 is 9. 6 times 900 is 5,400, leaving me 400s. Think of that as 40 tens. Bring down the other 6 tens. 46 tens divided by 6 is 7. 6 times 7 tens is 42 tens. Subtract, we get 4 tens. Think of that as 40 ones and bring down the other 8 ones. 48 ones divided by 6 is 8. 6 times 8, 48. Subtract, we get 0. Okay, so we are saying our estimate of 1,000 is close to 978. Okay. So let's see. 978 times our divisor 6 should give us the dividend 5,868. 8 times 6, 48. Regroup that as 4 tens and 8 ones. 6 times 7 tens is 42 tens, plus 4 more is 46 tens. 6 times 900 is 5,400, plus 4 more hundreds is 5,800s. Okay, they do match. So 978 should be my answer to number 13. Number 14. 14, we have 566 divided by 3. All right, multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9. Which one of those is closest to 5? 3 or 6? 6 is. So let's change 566 to 600 and divide by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we should have an answer close to 200. 500 divided by 3 is 1. So I'm left with 200s. I'm going to think of those as 2 tens. So not 2 tens. 20 tens. And bring down the 6 tens we already have. So 26 tens divided by 3 is 8. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract, I'm left with 2 tens. Think of that as 20 ones. Bring down the other 6 ones. 26 divided by 3 is 8 again. And we're left with 2. So we're saying 188, remainder 2. Take the 188, the quotient, multiply by the divisor 3, add the remainder, and it should match the dividend. 3 times 8, 24. Regroup that as 2 tens and 4 ones. 3 times 8 tens is 24 tens, plus 2 more is 26 tens. 3 times 100 is 300, plus 2 more is 500. 64 plus 2, the remainder 2, 6, 6, 5. So they match. So my check matches my dividend, so the answer is 188, remainder 2. 15. 3,283 divide by 9. 3,283 divide by 9. All right, multiples of 9. 9, 18, 27, 36. I'm going to go change this to 36 hundredths. Divide by 9. All right, 9 times what is 36? 4. So our answer should be about 400. So my first digit is going to be in the hundreds place. 9 times 3 is 27 with a remainder of 5. So 5 can't be shared with 9. So bring that, think of that as 50 tens plus the 8 tens we already have. 58 divided by 9 is 6. 9 times 6 is 54. Subtract, we're left with 4 tens. We'll think of those 4 tens as 41s. Bring down the other 3 ones. 43 divided by 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So we can use 4. 9 times 4, 36. Subtract, we're left with 7. So if we're right, 364 times 9 plus 7 should give me 3,283. Nine times 4, 36 ones. Regroup that as 3 tens and 6 ones. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 3 more tens is 57 tens. Regroup that as 5 hundreds and 7 tens. 9 times 300 is 2,700, plus 5 more is 3,276. And we said we have a remainder of 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. Regroup, we get 8 tens. 2 plus nothing is 2. And 3 plus nothing is 3,000. 3,283 matches our dividend. So 364, remainder 7 is our answer. All right, 16. All right. Find the value of n in each equation. Write what n represents in the related division problem. Okay. Four times 58 equals n. All right, well, multiply 58 and 4. 4 times 8 ones, 32 ones. Regroup that as 3 tens and 2 ones. 4 times 5 tens is 20 tens, plus 3 more is 23. So 232. Okay. Number 17, 589 equals 784. 7 times 84 plus n. Right? What n represents? Oh, 232, that would be the dividend. Because we're, in a sense, we're checking our answer. Okay. When we multiply the divisor by the quotient, we get the dividend. All right, so in this case, we have, I would say that 589 is the dividend, the 7's the divisor, the 84 is the quotient, and the n is probably the remainder. So what is 7 times 84? That's 588. So 588 plus n has to equal 589. Well, that's just 1, right? 1. And so, yes, it's the remainder. Okay. And number 18. 5 times 67 plus 3. 5 represents the divisor. 67 is the quotient. 3 is the remainder. N is the dividend. So 5 times 67. 5 times 7, 35 ones. Regroup that as 3 tens and 5 ones. 5 times 6 tens is 30 tens plus 3 more, 335. Plus 3. So n equals 338. And that's the dividend. Right, 19. Use the table to solve 19 and 21. 19 through 21. So large gold nuggets found. So we have 3 large gold nuggets, their weights, and where they were found. Okay, so if the welcome gold nugget were turned into 3 equal-sized gold bricks, how many troy ounces would each brick weigh? So the welcome gold nugget is 2,217 troy ounces, and we want to split that into 3 gold bricks. So 2,217 divided by 3. 2,217 divided by 3. Well, let's see the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21, 24. So I'm going to change this to 2,100 and divide by 3. 2,100 divided by 3 is 700. So about 700 troy ounces per brick. All right, so 3 times what is close to 22? 7. Subtract, we get 100 left. Think of that as 10 tens. Bring down the other 10. So we have 11 tens divided by 3. So we have 3. 3 times 3 is 9, leaving us 2 tens. Think of that as 20 ones. Bring down the 7 ones we already have. 27 divided by 3 is 9. So we have 739. That is close to our answer of 7, our estimate of 700. So 739 troy ounces. Now, should I check my answer? Sure. What's a couple more minutes? 739 is my quotient times the divisor should give me the dividend. 9 times 3, 27. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 more is 11. 3 times 700 is 2100, plus the regrouped 100, 2200. 2217 matches the dividend 2217. So 739 troy ounces. All right, number 20. Look back at problem 19. Write a similar problem by changing the nugget and the number of bricks, then solve the problem. Well, we only have 2 other choices, right? So you can go Willard or you can go welcome stranger. So similar problem. If the Willard gold nugget were turned into I don't know, we have to change the number of bricks, right? So you can go less, you can go more. I'm going to say 6 into 6 equal sized gold bricks. How many troy ounces would each brick weigh? Okay, then solve the problem. All right, so 788 divided by 6, because I have 6 equal sized bricks that I want to use. So my estimate would be 600 divided by 6, so about 100 troy ounces. All right, so 7 divided by 6 is 1, with a remainder of 100. I'm going to trade that for 10 tens, plus the 8 that we already have. 18 tens divided by 6 is 3 tens. 6 times 3 tens is 18 tens. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down the 8 ones, and 8 divided by 6 is 1. So we get a remainder of 2. So we would say 131 troy ounces I'm going to say about 131 troy ounces, because we do have a remainder. So if you want to be technical, 131 and 2/6 troy ounces, or 131 and 1/3 troy ounces. All right, number 21. Suppose the Willard nugget was turned into 4 equal-sized gold bricks. If one of the bricks was sold, how many troy ounces of the Willard nugget would be left? All right, so we have 788 divided by 4. So if we change 788 to 800 and divide by 4, we should get an answer about 200. And then I would subtract that from 788 to figure out how much is left. All right, so there's 1. Bring down the 8 tens. 38 divided by 4 is 9 tens. Bring down the 8. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So we're left with 0, 197. Okay, so 197. If they sell one of the bricks, it's going to be 788. Take away 197. So 1, 9, 5. 591 ounces left. (22) There are 246 students going on a field trip to Pan for Gold. If they are going in vans that hold 9 students each, how many vans are needed? How many students will ride in the van that isn't full? All right. So we're going to have 246 students shared with 9 groups, right? So let's see what that would be. 246 divided by 9. So 24, that's close to 27. So I would guess about 30 students per van, roughly. So 9 times 2 is 18. Subtract, we get 6 10s left over. Bring down the other 6 ones. 66 ones divided by 9 is 7. 9 times 7 is 63. All right, so I get a remainder of 3. Now, what do these numbers represent? Well, the 246 is the total number of students. The vans hold 9 students each. So I need 27 vans. But there's 3 students left over. So I actually need 28 vans. 28 vans. And how many students will be in that last van? 3 students. Okay. And 23. Lily's teacher wrote the division problem on the board. Using the vocabulary box, label the parts of the division problem. Then, using the vocabulary, explain how Lily can check whether her teacher's quotient is correct. All right, so our answer to our division problem is called the quotient. The amount that we're sharing is the dividend. The amount that we're sharing by is the divisor. How can we check to see if her teacher's answer is right? Multiply the quotient with the divisor. The product should equal the dividend. Okay. All right, so that's it for lesson 2.2. Fairly lengthy lesson in the sense of estimating, going through the division steps, and then checking it by multiplying. But by doing those things, you're certain you have the correct answers. Okay, so until we meet again, I will see you soon.